Here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Post Youth, we have our two finalists, by the way. Welcome everyone to the grand finals of the Korean StarCraft League, week number 50. For those who maybe are unfamiliar with the tournament, this is an open tournament, but the time slot here in the server is catered towards the Korean scene, to support the Korean scene, to fund it. If you want to take part, if you want to help contribute and support the Korean scene, exclamation mark KSL in the chat, and you can do so yourself, and you can even gain access to these replay packs. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our South Korean Zerg player, our red Zerg representing Talent Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the contender. We have our blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go again. TvZs we don't see too often at all in the finals of the KSL, so I'm very happy to see a bit of a shift here in kind of the narrative, a bit of a shift in what we do expect out of the Korean StarCraft League. Again, this week there's no hero. This week there's a Zerg and Terran in the finals instead. And we're going for a hatch gas pool. Standard opener here out of Dark. Again, we're loading into Post Youth, a map where you can be quite greedy. We did see that ByuN went CC first. It is Command Center first here out of ByuN. Something you can do on some of these more greedy maps. We saw this last season on Gressvan, for example, and we're seeing it here. Sorry, not Gressvan. We saw it on Radisson Station. That's it. I don't know why I thought Gressvan. We saw it last season on Radisson Station, and we're seeing it here on Post Youth. CC first, followed by the racks. We could even go for a fast third CC behind this as well. We'll see where the greed stops for ByuN. I always remember Spirit on Radisson Station going 4 CC before Factory. He was an animal, and he got away with it. That was Spirit versus Dark at IM Katowice a couple of months ago. Disgusting. That was the first and only time I saw 4 CC before Factory. Like, we've seen 3 CC before Factory. That's a little bit more commonplace, especially on those larger maps. But Spirit took it to another level. He's greedy like that. It was Spirit versus Solar at Radisson Station during the group stage. Good times. For now, though, we do see that ByuN, yep, it's going to be a 3 CC before Factory. So this is, I was going to say, the greediest build you can go for, but I did just mention one that was even greedier, which is 4 CC before Factory, but this is still very greedy here. We're cutting a lot of corners. Dark goes in with the Scout, and Dark will confirm the timing of the 3rd CC. But the problem is that on a map like Post Youth, even though Dark sees, can Dark punish? It's difficult. It's difficult to really punish this just because of the defensive nature of this 2-base setup. So Dark gonna have to play catch up instead. He's droning, taking his own 3rd base. A way to catch up is to take the gold. There is a gold available here to try to make up for the greed of your opponent. As your Overlord is zoned away, ByuN working on his 2nd racks behind this. We can go into a 3rd racks as well. 3 CC, 3 racks variation. Going even into double E-base. Oh my god, so greedy here. Because these E-bays are so fast, we're going to be hitting a very strong 1-1 timing, a very early 1-1 timing here from ByuN. And again, he's doing all this with 1 Marine. Like, that's his army, a single Marine. And now we're getting into our reactor, into additional Marine production. Remember, ByuN has no map presence, he has no Hellions, no Banshees, no nothing for map control, but ByuN doesn't care. And Dark, yeah, he's going straight for a 4th. He needs to. As I mentioned before, how do you counteract the greed of your opponent here? Well, you have to outgreed them, or keep up with the greed. So the gold base is going to make up for that. As Dark even double expanding, going for his 3rd, going for his 4th and his 5th base, and to even go for a 6th as well. We are. Show us the hatchery, Bobby. Oh my god, not quite. Okay, not quite. We pull back. But this is insane. From the side of ByuN, very greedy build. From the side of Dark, also insanely greedy as well. Looking at the units tab, we have 1 Ling. We have 1 Ling here for Dark, and is he going to be punished as ByuN is pushing? Uh-oh. Dark, he has to come forward here with his Queens. Marines are spotted. Remember, Dark, he has 1 Ling for his main army. There we go, 12 more Lings in production. Queens have arrived. So really what this has turned into is just a game of greed. Like both Dark and ByuN, how much can we get away with? How many bases can we throw down before we die? The answer for Dark is he's going for the 6th base. Oh my god. And he catches the Marines before Stim finishes. Oh, ByuN is punished. It was risky of ByuN to move out before Stim, and we see why. The Marines go down, the Lings are up and running, and we can even try and deny the 3rd. As Dark does not scout, does not see the 3rd base, otherwise he could apply pressure. But regardless, ByuN going for a 6th. Again, that's a 6th hatchery. That was around like, what, 510? That was just so early on here. If you're out there, if you're watching this game, if you're out there and if you're going to be laddering, don't try this at home. Even on post-youth, like this will get you killed. Here's a surefire way to lose MMR. Like here it makes sense because basically right now, again, as we mentioned before, it's like a game of greed and we're trying to out-greed each other. Chances are, if you're doing this on the ladder, you're just going to die to like an all-in or to like a push or something. Like it's like... This needs like a disclaimer, like warning, like this is, you know, a game done by professionals, Yeah, behind the Stim is done, 1-1 has completed, working towards 2-2. We mentioned it before, a very strong Stim 1-1 timing, but we're moving out with 6 less Marines. But Medevacs have arrived. Dark, he's on 0-0, needs a little bit more time for those upgrades to kick in. ByuN does push forward. There's up some creep. Lings, they go for the surround. Bailings, they do try to crash in. We do shave off some of those Marines. ByuN, not enough room in those medevacs for all the Marines. Only escapes with 16. And he will get away. That's a 7th hatchery and an 8th. Oh my god. We're going up to 8 hatcheries already here at the 7-minute mark here by Dark. He's crazy. 8 hatcheries, man. Again, ByuN's or Dark, he sees the greed of ByuN. He's like, no. I'll show you how it's done. But let me just take every base on the map, including your own. Calm down. To be fair, there's no macro hatcheries, so that's kind of what he's using some of these bases for. At the same time, ByuN going for his double jump on the left-hand side. He will deny a hatchery, denies the 8th. But that's 10k, we got 7 more. We can afford to lose a base, and Dark is in position. Mainly speed kicking in, we force back the drop. At the same time, double drop here threatening the main, but the queens are lying in wait as well. Meanwhile, talking about the compositions, Dark is going Ling Bane is rushing into the hive. There is no hydrogen, there's no spire. This could just be Ling Bane into Ultra. This would make sense based on the greed here of Dark for him to stay on a low gas count. Can't really afford mutas, can't really afford hydras. We are taking into Ultra Tech. We're getting there. Double drop comes in and does unload. 1 medevac goes down. We pick off a queen. Not just 1, we get 2, we get 3 queens. Good pickups. The medevac will get away. Those were some rough losses here for Dark. You can see him rotating over with the rest of his queens. That will impact his overall injects. His macro. Double drop moving in. Dark in position. He does keep up. Shuts down the drop, rotates over towards his main base. More spores on the way. How many queens do we have? 4. Dark, he hasn't rebuilt his queens. That's a little bit concerning. I mean, I guess because of the high hatchery counts, we might not need injects as much. Possible. It's still concerning to me though, as we are missing injects. As the queens are busy here in the main. Meanwhile, the hive is done working on Adrenal, working on eventual 3-3. I'm still waiting for that Ultra Cavern. Waiting to make use of that hive tech. Even Vipers as well. That would be a good way to deal with the Metamax. See Dark trying to poke in, but he runs into a wall. Oh my god, ByuN, the SimCity here is insane. We have a full wall set up here. We're getting into triple tank production. That is crazy. 3 factories up and running here from ByuN. Making 3 tanks at a time. He's on his 4 base setup. On the one hand, sure, Dark, he's got his side of the map. He's got 7 hatcheries, but ByuN on 4 bases can't sustain himself. Dark rolling in. Crashes through the Marines, getting on top of the tanks as well. Tanks are going down, but we don't get into the mineral line. Oof. Dark just running into a brick wall of Terran, and ByuN holds. ByuN, he bled out 4 tanks, but that was 113 lings. Still an efficient trade here by ByuN. And remember, he's making 3 tanks at a time. He can afford some losses here and there. He can replenish that army quite quickly. And we spoke about it earlier, there's that Ultra Cavern. Again, link bait into Ultra makes sense based on the build that Dark was going for, based on his setup. Viper production has commenced as well. The drop comes back in, and ooh, Dark not in position. Drones are going down. Dark down to 71 workers. Ooh, but late reaction from ByuN at the same time across the map. Catch a tank. That's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel on the CC. ByuN still being active though. He has a drop towards the north. He has a double drop here on the right hand side. Leading out a Marine. He's going to be threatening him once again. 3-3s in production. Have we started Adrenal? We have. We already have it. ByuN taking his gold. That's another thing here about this map as the Vipers. Oh, we have to get the hell out of here. We'll escape. Good power bomb on the medevac. The medevac finally goes down. Now we can hunt down the others. Yes, there's that power bomb. Finally, we have some kind of anti-air. Medevac's getting low. We could even yoink them in. Now with these split medevacs, it does mean that we have to use 2 power bombs instead of 1 to kill them. It's going to expend that much more, and there we go. Power bomb has been thrown down. 1 medevac falls, and so will the other. Alright, just regathering all that energy. Meanwhile, the tank counts. Like, the problem here is that ByuN isn't pushing. Like, ByuN, he is waiting for Dark to come into him. Like, this is as turtle as you can get. Like, we're just walling up. There we go. More turrets. Planetaries on the way. The armies. Ghost base. I mean, I'm brought back to Gressvan with this setup. Gressvan was very similar because of the features of the map, because of how defendable it was. Meanwhile, we're going for the planetary. The planetary goes down. The backup CC as well. At the same time, massive Dune drop here into the main base, but the ghosts are in position. We get 17, 18 SCVs. But the drop is deflected. And we do preserve the infrastructure. Preserve the production. It was a nice move there out of Dark, but again, ByuN was ready for it. He had a sensor tower in position as well. Now, it's very important here that Dark starts mining for these fringe bases. I'm concerned. Like, top left, these bases have been taken, and bottom right is being taken as well, but we're not mining from them. And this is something that Cyril's really good at. When we get into the late game against Terran, he does prioritize mining from the fringe bases first, and then the bases closer to the mainland instead. Just to essentially steal minerals from the Terran. Because eventually ByuN is going to take this base on the left and the base on the right. Eventually ByuN will take them. So it's one of those things where Dark has to steal those minerals before ByuN gets there. Speaking of, hatchery is going to be denied by the soon-to-be CC. Bit of an awkward moment. Both players trying to expand. Here comes the tank army. Here comes ByuN. Slowly pushing forward. Drone is going to go down. This is going to be a big moment here. If ByuN can establish his base, if he can expand, oof, that is going to be huge. But, like, how does Dark push into this? I would say the CC is a little bit more vulnerable at the moment. Dark has potential to try to punish. But at the same time, here comes a double drop. Oof. That's a lot of drones going down. 5 workers full. Dark, though, is on 91. Jeez, that's a high drone count. There are those planetaries finishing up. Both on the right and left-hand side. More CCs, more turrets on the way. And you can see Darky's getting ready here for Broodlords. Going for 1-1 upgrades with that Spire. Getting ready for that. As we are transitioning into mech. So again, the late game TvZ is Ghost Mech, which incorporates tanks, liberators, Thors, and pure Ghost. So ByuN, he's doing a really good job at refining himself and getting there. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a game quite like this since last season. We saw it a lot on Gressvan, that was 2 seasons ago. We saw this a lot on, not quite post-youth, I'm thinking of another map, Alkione, that's it. We saw this a lot on Alkione as well. Wall of turrets is upon us. And once ByuN establishes a presence like this, like Dark can't really stop these bases. He can't really push in, not with this kind of army. Now the goal right now, if you're curious as to what Dark is doing, and at this point he can't really contest the fringe bases, he's just trying to buy time for Broodlords. What I mean is he's trying to buy time for all these upgrades to finish to get into well upgraded Broodlord tech. And transition to spellcasters. A pure Ling main like this doesn't scale well. It doesn't have a lot of longevity here in TvZ. We do take down a planetary. Oh, barely not. We defend on the right-hand side. Hatchery barely does survive. You can see that Dark, he's spread thin. He's spread very thin, and he just hasn't been able to mine here from the bottom right-hand base. Hasn't been able to mine at all. We have Blue Flame on the way. We have advanced servers. We spoke about it. Again, mech is the ideal late game here for Terran. Ghost mech. Good snipes on the Bailings. At this point, we can't make any ultras. Like, ultras don't do well against this. If the tank count gets lower, then we can go into ultras. Thors are on the way. This is what's scary. Thor production is to counteract Broodlords. So, ByuN, even though we don't have any Broodlords yet, we're getting ready for that. Ahead of time. Time to go for the Bailings. 1 Bailing left. No detections, so yeah, the Invisible Man, the Invisible Ghost, they do just push forward. Dark just can't quite engage. The base is under fire. Did end up going too close to the Spore, though. 1 Ghost goes down. Meanwhile, bottom right base falls. Dark's still stuck with the main. Going Mass Muta? Ooh, that I was not expecting. I was waiting for the Greater Spire, but no. We're going for a Muta switch. If we didn't have Thors, I would like this. It is only 3 Thors, though. Only 3 Thors, only 2 Vikings. The anti-air is limited. There is potential. There's potential with the Muta switch. Oh no, we spilled the Mutas! Not like this. More turrets being thrown down the Mutas. They have been seen. Yeah, we see a massive wall of turrets here on the left-hand side and on the right. 11 turrets at a time. That was a really crucial scan for ByuN. And that was a big gas sink. Like, these are expensive. To rush into 32 Mutas. My god. They are 100 gas each. And what can these Mutas do? I mean, they can shut down drops, sure, and they can maybe find a way in, but I mean, can they really work their way through this sea of turrets? Like, there's so many of them. We're going for it. We get through 3. We get through 2. The Ghosts are keeping up. Thors are on the way. We do shut down a couple of these turrets here towards the center, but we're taking a lot of hits to the face. Oof. And we should not be making more Mutas. Yeah, we're just making Lings. 3-3s on the way. After 3-3 finishes, we should be seeing a Greater Spire. We are down to, we're up to, 37 Mutas. How many Mutas went down? 9 Mutas fell. Oof. It's 900 gas down the drain. These mutas have not paid for themselves yet. They rotate towards the south. They focus down some turrets. As we bleed out another 13 mutas. We throw down the nuke, and Dark, he's going to have to give up this base. The hatchery, it's going to go down. Hatchery will fall. And the problem here is that Dark is just stuck with mutas that aren't really doing too much. We do get a tank. We get two tanks. Two tanks go down. We lost the base. We collapse here on some of these Vikings. Big snipes going off, though, and we're fighting over the turrets. Yeah, ByuN intentionally dragging the army over the turrets as well. We do catch a couple more of these tanks, though. How many ghosts was that? 12 ghosts for 22 muta. Oh no! As we run through the field of turrets, massive shots go off and we bleed out almost every single muta. Ay, not like this. And you can see that from here, Dark, he's transitioning into pure Ling Bane. He's getting out of the mutas. 3-3 is soon to finish up. But the problem is that because he went muta first, he's forcing out all these Thors. Maybe they crash in, they take down a planetary. They try to. Oh, the repairs, are they barely good enough? They are! The base lives. The base survives. ByuN holds. And what I was going to say is that because of forcing out so many Thors, now would be a good time for Ultras. And there it is, 6 Ultras at a time. I do like this from Dark. So the way this works is that you have to be very fluid with the Zerg army, with what you're making. And the mutas force out Thors, so now is not the time for Broodlords. Tanks have been getting picked off, so now Ultras are that much more viable. Now, with the arrival of these Ultras, it's going to force ByuN to make more tanks as he bleeds out Thors, and then you switch into Broodlords, right? Like, there's this kind of rotation that you have to go through, depending on what the turret has. Melee Runby comes in, we finally get the Planetary. Planetary goes down. Like, the Zerg player has to adjust depending on how many tanks there are and how many Thors there are. How many mutas do we have left? We have 14. 14 mutas. Nice snipes here from ByuN. He's taking one of Dark's bases. This is what we spoke about earlier. How it was so crucial to take advantage of that base. Good blinding cards. We do find some of these Thors. Here come the Ultras. The Ultras, they have been revealed. And where are the tanks? There's one tank in position. But the liberation zones, they have arrived. The mutas, they try to go in, but they're coming into turret range. Yeah, the libs are going ham. Thors are being shut down. So are the Ultras. Big chunk of Ultras do fall. Getting back into Ghost. You can see now we're making 3 tanks at a time. We're going back into muta. I mean, this is a way to do it. We'll see how this goes. Basically, instead of going into Broodlord, it does take a while, and there's no Greater Spire, to be fair. There's no Greater Spire here. Instead of going into Broodlord, we're going back into muta. Let's have a look at our army. How many Thors? 0. 0 Thors right now, and we're going into pure tank production with Hellbats. Now is a good time for muta. Bearing in mind as well, how many turrets do we have? We cleared up most of the turrets here on the left. There's still a good chunk here on the right. Oh, we're throwing away some of these Ultras, though. It's a rough trade. Ultra gets thrown away. Here come the mutas, and the base is exposed. Good move here by Dark. Takes down the CC. Liberators come in. They do have splash damage. Bear that in mind with their anti-air. How many mutas do we have? 38 mutas. My god. But time is working against us. Like, Dark, he's going to go in now before the Thor count gets back up. Trying to find another way in. Interesting. ByuN, he's actually avoiding Thors. He's going pure Liberator. I mean, Liberators, they have a lot of splash damage, to be fair. And how many libs are we going to have? 9. That's an okay amount. Ling Bane rolling in. Muta, they do catch some of these tanks and the Ghost as well. Very nice pickups here, but Dark, oh, he's bleeding out a lot though. He's committed. Does focus out a couple more of these Ghosts, but more Ghosts, they roll in. They force back the army. Big snipes go up. And Dark, what's his response? 21 more mutas. I'm pretty sure the reason for this is because we still don't see any Thors. Still no Thors. Is this Liberator gamble gonna work? Oh my god, that's a lot of splash damage. Yeah, Liberation has arrived. Liberators, they shoot up and they shoot down. They can counteract the Thors. Sorry, they can counteract Ultras and Muta. The Mutas are very low. And this is all we have. Dark, he's burning through a lot of his bank. Remaxing with the Mutas. Pushing back in. This time we're the Liberation Zone. We're the Liberators. They're not here. A big catch here. Dark diving on top of those ghosts. And here come the Libs. They were out of position. Now with these Liberators, once again, Dark is going to be forced back. We can keep pushing. Oh yeah, we can just rain down upon this space. No spores, by the way. Oh my god. A lot of Muta's going to be going down. We do collapse on the Liberators, though. We clean them up. Nice spread from Dark. Ooh, they barely shut down the Libs before they got another shot off. And do we start Thor production? Again, ByuN has been a little bit stubborn here, refusing to make any Thors. Liberator count was reset. Now we get Thors on the way, but now that we have no Liberators, we can get into Ultras. Like, Dark, he's pulling this off. And a big reason for this may just come down to the fact that ByuN refused to make Thors earlier, and now he has to, but now it might just be too late. Here comes the Ling Ultra. Catch out some of these tanks. 3, 4 tanks going to be shut down. We're going for the planetary. This time we will get a kill. Dark, he does get another base up and running. You can see that ByuN, he's running out of resources. He's running out of his bank. Good snipes. Good snipes coming in. We take down another 2 tanks. Dark resaturating his fringe bases. What is ByuN working with? We've got 3 Thors, we've got 16 Ghosts. But are they in position? Yeah, Thor's here on the left-hand side. Mutas, they come in, they go for the planetary. Planetary goes down. Like, Dark, he's putting in some work. He's getting damage done. Just rotating left and right. And ByuN is always one step behind. Like, Dark, he's finally had some momentum on his side. Now, to be fair, this Muta Flock is still very fragile, right? Like, if he takes one bad fight, if there are 3 Thors in position and we get some massive volleys off, this army is going to evaporate. That's only if we engage with the Thors. Mutas, they dive in, they catch some more turrets, they catch some more tanks. We're still making tanks, by the way. ByuN still only sticking with a 3 Thor count army. I would love to see 6. I would have loved to have seen 6. Like 3 on the left and 3 on the right. That would have been ideal. You can see that because the Thors are here and they're stationary, Dark is abusing that. He's abusing the low Thor counts. Just rotating in between the bases, getting more turrets. ByuN getting back into Liberators instead. I mean, this can still work. Like, Liberator anti-air isn't as strong as it once was. I remember back in the day, like, they would just annihilate Mutaflux. Dark has to be careful. Thors are around. Liberator's trying to keep up, but they need their support. We're going for the main base. We're going to camp the production. You're running some of these turrets. As Dark is being active, we do see ByuN moving out with the push towards the left-hand side. He will catch a base. And the Mutas, they catch the Liberators. Oh my god. Massive volleys going to be going off the Mutas. They are so low, they almost get taken out. So many Mutas go down. Ay. How many was that? 24 Mutas for 8 Liberators. I need to put more respect on the anti-air of Liberators. A little bit more. Like, the Mutas, they still won the fight. Meanwhile, ByuN, he takes down top left, and he takes down bottom right. 2 hatcheries fall. We deny any kind of mining here. Dark has 0 income. No minerals here on the right, no minerals here at the gold, no minerals here at the center base. This is the only mining base left for Dark. He's out of gas. Dark is out of gas. He needs one of these expansions. He's double expanding. Dark, he needs a base. He needs money. He's broke. So is ByuN. He's also broke. Dark has top left, and ByuN, he's got one mineral patch left. Oh, God. We could mine through these minerals here, I guess, and yeah, we need that right-hand base as well. It's getting very close. Now, we still have those 3 Thors. ByuN consolidating his forces, finally. He's not there yet. Good snipes. The orbital's gonna go down. Did overextend. Doesn't fall, actually. It catches fire, but we can save it. At the same time, Link run by, we catch some tanks. Yeah, the army's exposed. 2 tanks go down. Good pickups here by Dark. Ooh, we get a 3rd tank. Mutas. Oh, they do find the Thors, finally. Or I should say the Thors find the Mutas. ByuN pushing towards top left. Meanwhile, Dark saturating bottom right. It's the power of double expanding. Sure, we lose one base, but we get the other. And we're diving on top of the Thors. Yeah, we go for the magic boss. Thors, they're going to be shut down. And Dark, has he finally done it? He shuts out all the ghosts as well. Dark catching out the army, cleaning everything up. Meanwhile, on the bottom right, ByuN shuts down the hatchery, gets the base. Hatchery will fall. Dark does evacuate with most of his workers, does save the drones. Dark did trade out a lot of his army, but he's rebuilding the Lings. Rebuilding some of those mutas as well. Yeah, ByuN is committed. Do we keep pushing? He's coming back with the libs. He thinks about it. Do we keep pushing or do we turn around? ByuN, I like this. Going for another base. This is why I said earlier how important it was for Dark to start mining from the fringe bases first. Like, because of this game state. And you can see how difficult it is to expand here. 30 minutes in. Going for the hatchery. Mutas are in position. Oh, I'm not sure if these Liberators can take the fight. They go for a nice spread here by Dark. Liberators do unsiege and the Mutas are going down. The anti-air. Once again, a good spread though. Nah, that was a better try for sorry, a better trade for ByuN. A better fight. He will lose the Liberators though. The Mutas, the support from the Queens, the transfuse. We kept the Mutas alive. We hunt down the base. Meanwhile, ByuN takes a fresh mining base. Look at this. We still have 8 mineral patches here. Fresh base versus fresh base. Okay. We have an even economy. Let's go. The last mining bases on the entire map as we have mined out of top left. I mean, there's still a gas geyser here. There's like 1 mineral patch here towards the left. We can see that ByuN is mining through bottom right. 1 base versus 1 base. Let's go. Looking at our army sizes, we have 6 mutas. That's barely a muta army. The Liberators, they did enough. Really, Dark has Lingbane. Mainly Lingbane here. Ooh, against Marine Hellbat. We need more Banelings. We need more gas. Uh-oh. Like, gas is the important thing for Dark right now. He desperately does need it. We have 38 more Lings on the way. A pure Ling is not going to cut it. ByuN, he's rotating around. Again, he's got Hellbats. He's got Ghosts. Yeah, Dark has to pull back. He can't engage. At least not with all this SimCity. He can engage out in the open. Like, if ByuN pushes, then Dark can surround. At the same time, going for a Ling Rubber, he catches 2 tanks. He gets both tanks. He gets into middle line. The SCVs are going down as well. ByuN being pulled apart. At the same time, Dark going for the main. The Marines are caught out. Big catch here for Dark. Gets a good chunk of Marines. That's a kill. That's a kill on the CC. We did not lift. The base falls. Dark doing so much here with mainly Lings. Ooh, but the problem here is that Dark barely touched this base. When he had this base earlier, he barely touched it, so we can see that ByuN, he has more longevity with this with this CC. Dark, he's actually burning through these resources. He's going to be the first to run out. Dark is going to be the first to run out, and ByuN, he will have a little bit more sustain here with this base. The Bailings! Oh my god. How did they get in? Jeez, I was caught off guard. 5 SCVs go down. ByuN. Uh-oh. They're going to the nearest sea. They're going to the main. So what happened is, because the CC lifted, these workers are they're transferring and they're sending their minerals to the nearest base. And yeah, they go to the main. So that was a brutal lift from ByuN. Oh, we have borrowed Bailings. Let's go. We have some Bailing mines set up here towards the left-hand side. Dark taking some of these gas is very important. We spoke about it earlier. Dark, he desperately needs gas. And he will steal some. Oh, actually, never mind. There's 0 gas. Wait, no, there. He will steal some here from ByuN. Very important. Likewise, ByuN still has gases left just behind his army. Would come into play. Okay, you can see here we're down to 4 mineral patches from the side of Dark. Meanwhile, ByuN is still on 5. Sorry, still on 6 even. Jesus. 6 mineral patches. And ByuN, he's still got that 200 minerals waiting for him. It's still there. So, yeah, Dark is about to run out of money. It is only a matter of time. We can see ByuN, he's able to get into Thor production. Looking at the army tab here, we have soon to be 2 Thors. We have 25 Hellbats. Oh boy, that's a lot of Hellbats. I mean, if we can make enough Banelings, if we catch ByuN clumped up, then we can take a fight. But outside of that scenario, if he splits well, these things are gonna melt. But there we go. 11 more Banelings on the way. That's why the gas is so important. We need Banelings. Desperately. So thanks to the gases of ByuN, we're able to get into more Baneling production. We're able to get in. Meanwhile, we can see ByuN still relying on Hellbats. Making Hellbats straight from the factories. Let's go. How many ghosts do we have? 7. We have 7 ghosts. Of course, snipes are a big factor as well. That's why in a head-to-head fight, I want to give the edge and I want to give favor here to ByuN. But a lot of it depends on where the fight is taken. Like if Dark pushes in and if ByuN is able to make use of the Sim City and reduce surface area on his army, then ByuN will win the fight, 100%. If ByuN pushes out onto creep and if Dark gets a full surround, then Dark can take the fight instead. Like who pushes in first? That is the question. Who is going to be the first to pull the trigger? Oh, we have an Infestor on the way. Let's go. That could be the deciding factor. Infestor is in production for those fungals. At the same time, ByuN has scans and he has EMPs, of course. I'm lacking the Infestor. Let's go. Do we have Neural? Let's see. We do not. Neural has not been researched. We're getting into 3 Infestors. There are still those Bard Bailings. Speaking of, yeah, Dark is pulling back. Dark, he's going to have Fungals available. He's going to have Microbial Shroud. I mean, that's not going to be a factor. Fungal's going to be the big one. Well, speaking of Neural, there it is. I did just mention that Dark didn't have it, and now we're going for it. And we have seen Dark pop off with some amazing plays when it comes to Borrowed Infestor, and then we Neural the Ghost, and we EMP the other Ghosts. That is going to be a play available for Dark. If he can get his hands on a Ghost, He can take away the EMP potential of ByuN. Or the spellcaster potential. Likewise, he can also try to neural the Thors. That's maybe another option. Even the Ghost. Sorry, even the tank, what I meant to say. But the value neural is going to be the Ghost in the end. ByuN leapfrogging forward with the turret. Let's go. Dark still long distance mining. Down to 3 mineral patches. ByuN. Likewise. Sorry, down to 2 mineral patches, what I meant to say. Down to 1! Uh-oh, Dark, he's running out of minerals. We have 100 minerals left. Aye, aye, aye. We are soon just running out. I mean, there's still that 1 mineral patch here with 100 minerals as well. But yeah, Dark, he's running out of resources. Likewise, so is ByuN. Still like a couple of patches here and there that we can make use of. And soon, what you see is what you get. Now, of course, ByuN can... he doesn't have that many SCVs. Dark, he can pull the boys. Like, Dark has a lot of supply in drones, and he can make use of them. I mean, you know, use whatever you can at this point. ByuN does have the supply lead. Ooh, I think Dark, what's he asking? Is he asking, like, how many resources you have? Or any mining left? Can anyone translate in the chat? Yeah, I think they're talking about how many minerals they have left. Or, like, to mine, I mean. Oh, heads. Oh, we don't even get the final fight. Hold on, I need to know what they were saying. I need to know what they were saying, as we don't even get the final fight, and Dark, oh sorry, ByuN taps out. Hold up. I need to see what the hell they just said. I need to know, Papi, I need to know. Give me Google Translate. There we go. Google Translate. Return to game. The hell did they? What the hell did they just say? Oh, do we have a translation in the chat? How many queens are left? Oh, wait, no, I think that was just someone asking. Okay, hold on. This is why we need Inu, Bobby. Where's my Inu? Hold on, I'm in the replay. I'm ready. Oh, Dark is asking draw. Oh. No shot. Dark asked for a draw here. Okay. Oh, I need a pause. Hold on. Dark said, I won't go even if you give me 1 million won. Okay. What does ByuN say? Hold on, I need to. I'm relying on like Google Lens here. Okay. So Dark saying he won't tap out. ByuN saying draw. So is game 1 a draw? It's a they agree to a draw. Okay. So Dark doesn't take it. We have a draw. Oh my, it's been so long since we've had a draw. ByuN and Dark agree. ByuN and Dark, they agree. They agree to a draw, and that means we remake game 1. We're 0-0. What the hell? Okay. There you go. We're still 0-0. And we're remaking on post-youth. Think that, yeah. Think they're drawing. They did. So again, Dark asked for a draw. ByuN agreed. I mean, the problem here was, again, they were locked into a stalemate. Like, if you remember when we were theorizing, like, what could be happening and how could this game end, we spoke about how if Dark pushes, he loses, and if ByuN pushes, he loses, right? Like, it's like both players with the defender's advantage would win because they're out of resources. There's a chance that maybe ByuN could out control. There's a chance that maybe with his superior army, but the fungal growth in the infestor is like a big factor as well, so it was risky. So it was basically like who shoots first, and we were actually just locked in a stalemate there, and both players agreed like, hey, if I'm not attacking, if you're not attacking, we're just gonna be stuck here. And there's the draw. Okay, yeah, checks out. We're remaking game 1. I think only one tank. I think Dark could win with just Hungles. I kind of agree. Again, I agree if ByuN pushes. Like, I don't think that Dark could have pushed in. Or at least Dark didn't think so either. And that means we're getting into game 1 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as we're in game number 2, but still the first game of the series, as we did have a tie. We have our South Korean Zerg player. Oh, switching positions. Fatality Esports, it is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. ByuN has EMP though, he does, but the problem is that ByuN only had 2 orbitals. He only had 2 orbitals, if I'm not mistaken. Did he have a 3rd orbital? Maybe. But he has limited scans, is what I'm getting at. He had limited scans. Just trying to catch the infestor as well. I mean, that's why neither player would move out. That's why both players agreed to the draw, because like, we're not pushing. That's game. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. I'm catching up in the chat. Catching up. I need to find out what was said earlier. Another 20 mutas, another 20, Poppy. That was a wild style out of Dark, by the way. To refuse to go into Broodlord, to switch between Muta Ultra instead of Ultra Broodlord was something you don't see too often. It was very impressive. I mean, Dark was making it work for the most part. I say for the most part, there were some brutal moments where he was caught out by turrets, where he was caught out by Liberators as well. I mentioned earlier that ByuN would have had a bit of an easier time if he wasn't as stubborn when it came to making Thors. If you remember, ByuN, he refused to make more than 3. He stuck with a 3 Thor count, and because of his low Thor count, it meant that Dark was able to get away with more and was able to abuse ByuN a little bit more and outposition him and pull him apart. There was so much that came into that game, and okay, we're doing it again. Doing it all over again. Let's go. Do you think the ghosts are why Dark isn't building Vipers? Yeah, like with Dark's army composition, I don't think Vipers would have helped too much. Again, because of that high ghost count. The high ghost count. The fact that, of course, Dark was working with mutas more often than not, then back into ultras. It was a more high tempo style that Dark was trying to go for, instead of like the slower push, which is what Broodlords would have led to, like Broodlord, Infestor, Viper sort of thing, which is kind of like this slower, methodical, kind of more efficient, yes, but very different kind of play style, which I'm sure Dark isn't fond of. Meanwhile, it's going to be CC first into a Rax factory, into a 3rd CC, so ByuN is not being as greedy. As a reminder, last game, ByuN went 3 CC before 2nd Rax. This time, it's a later command center. This is a more standard build out of ByuN. So, winding it back, if you were here for the beginning of game 1, you would remember that it was a race of greed. Remember, Dark, he went up to 6 bases before the 5-minute mark. He went up to 8 bases sub 7 minutes. It was crazy how many bases Dark had because ByuN went 3 CC. Like, it was just a race and a game of greed, and we just kind of rush into the late game as a result, and rush into like an insane economy for both players. This time, it's very different. This time, hatch gas pool. Oh, and we're going for an early Roach Warren. Happy. Dark. Okay, so a very different style here. ByuN going for a more standard build, getting into his 3-rack setup on 3cc with his factory though, working towards stem. Meanwhile, Dark working towards a Roach push. Now, I don't think this is an all-in. I'm pretty sure Dark is going to be pushing with an amount of roaches. I imagine 7 to 9 roaches, but we're going to be joining up behind it. I imagine. Yeah, gold base is on the way. Dark, he's working towards a longer game. Roaches are amassing as we speak, and we should be applying some pressure. There it is, 6 roaches on the way. Into our 7th. We did mention 7 to 9 roaches, and then we should be joining. There we go, the roaches are arriving. Behind this, ByuN did not open up Banshees, so that's a little bit concerning. He did delay his starport for a long time. He went 3cc into a 3-1-1 setup instead. Roaches move out, but the Hellions, they slip by. ByuN barely did slip in, but doesn't get much done. Does at least scout the roaches, and here comes the push from Dark. Typically, there would be a Banshee to deal with this, but because of the build of ByuN, there are no Banshees, but there is going to be Stim. We'll see what Dark can get done here. As again, Dark is joining up. Here come the 7 roaches. They move out across the map. And there's no shot that we can push up this ramp. Yeah, we back off. The Marines are revealed, 1 roach falls, and Darky backs the hell off with the rest of his army. Nice catch on the Overlord. 3rd base is being taken. ByuN looking perfectly safe behind this, now going for his own push. Again, that's a lot of Marines, and we have Stim. And Darky's amassing roaches behind this to defend. And he should have enough. Get 12 roaches on the way, we bring forward all the queens, we can transfuse. And ByuN backs off. Upon seeing the army, he knows that he cannot break this. It's not going to happen, so ByuN does retreat. Behind this, getting into his 5-rack setup, tank production will finally commence. No tanks yet, and without tanks, ByuN is going to be vulnerable. We're droning, never mind. I was like, if we cut workers at 3 bases, we can push, but Dark is droning up. And ByuN is able to go into his drop play. Now, the downside of being this roach heavy is you have limited anti-air, right? No Hydrogen, no Spire. The queens were brought forward. So the drop is coming in towards the main. Do rotate over, and we get here just in time. At the same time, ByuN going for a split push, headed towards the gold. But roaches have been left behind. Dark is in position. So far, Darky's keeping up with the drop play here of ByuN. ByuN rotating around, he got a tumor, not much more than that. With our range upgrades finishing, we can go either into Lingbane Roach Ravager with Ling Speed finishing, or we could go from Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker Viper. So Dark has options. Based on Ling Speed though, we might see a Baneling Nest instead of a Hydra Den. We'll see. We'll go for one or the other. That's a drop. Oh! It's deflected. Behind this, ByuN has been working his tank count. We have bunkers on the way as well to fortify this position. 1-1 is done. Armory is a little bit delayed, unfortunately, so 2-2 is going to be delayed as a result. And ByuN is yet to throw down his 4th, but there it is, 4th CC on the way. ByuN is going to be taking a more defensive stance. Meanwhile, Dark is maxing out. He's maxing out on Ling Roach Ravager. 1-1 is about to kick in. We're cutting workers here at 3-base saturation. That's going to be 6-7 workers. Bearing in mind that this 3-base saturation is actually boosted because of the gold. So it's going to hit that much harder, that much faster. And this is a brutal build here from Dark. He's already maxed. A Ravager is caught. But here comes the push. And what do we have to defend? We have 3 tanks on the low ground, nothing on the high ground. We have 2 bunkers as well. And Dark trying to collapse on this from multiple angles. Trying to go for the surround. Again, how good are the Biles going to be? And Dark, he does pull the trigger. We're getting on top of the Ravagers. The Ravagers are exposed. A good pickups here by ByuN. So many Ravagers going down, but at the same time, we dive on top of the tanks. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3. Every tank falls, and ByuN cleans up 1 army. But he does lose all his tanks. And do we get into the middle line? We're going for the 4cc. 4cc goes down. ByuN does hold, and he doesn't lose his workers. He's still on 70 SCVs, but he did lose his 4th, and Dark, he's getting ready for his 2nd wave. This time with 2-2. 2-2 upgrades are on the way. We're remaxing here with more roaches, more lings. And with the tank count getting crippled, with the bunkers not being replaced, can Dark break through? We sim on forward. There's no Bailings here, by the way. Limited lings as well. ByuN's trading nicely against the roaches, but he still can't break through. Again, that was 14 roaches and 4 ravagers going down for 18 marines. It was a better trade for ByuN, but he's still in 3 bases. Meanwhile, Dark taking a 5th. 5th hatchery's on the way. Dark is squeezing out more drones, saturating that 5th. 2-2 is on the horizon. Still no Bailey Nest, which is concerning. No Bailey Nest. We're diving on top of the tank. Tank goes down. What about the bio? Yeah, ByuN, he starter steps forward. Sure, the tank falls, so we get on top of the ravagers. These marines, they're putting in the work. And 2-2 is finally finishing up. ByuN is held. ByuN is held. ByuN gets away with his 4th base. It's going to be able to land on location. And Dark is in a bit of trouble. This Roach army, the longer this game goes on, the worse it becomes. Doesn't scale amazingly into the mid-game, into the late game. ByuN is taking his 4th. Dark is remaxing once again. Going for a 3rd push. Going for a 3rd wave. We still haven't rebuilt the bunkers though. Bear that in mind. And the tank count is still low. So Dark can pull this off. I say that we are replacing, or we are replenishing it with 2 more tanks. That big tank volley's going up. CC is going to be delayed. We dodge the wilds. +1 melee's on the way. I'm waiting for that Bailey Nest. Not going for it yet though. Dark is maxed. We sim on forward, we focus down more ravagers. At the same time, Darky goes in. And once again, the tanks are exposed. Oh, can we break through? We get 1 tank, we get a 2nd tank as well, but only 2. And Darky's getting punished. Did overextend. He was able to get 7 SCVs at least, but now ByuN, now he can push. And again, the soup does lie. Even though Dark is up in army supply, it's inflated supply with the roaches. It's not very efficient. ByuN does have the superior army, and ByuN is working on 3-3. Pulling back for now to safety of the tanks. I'm still like, very torn about the fact that we haven't rebuilt any of those bunkers to help protect the tanks. ByuN being a little bit greedy. Tank is while down. But once again, the Ravagers are exposed. We try to dive on top of them. Boys are being pulled. CC is forced to lift. Darky's going for the base. There's some big piles. But ByuN, he's got his 4th. He's got his 4th. Like, ByuN's economy is safe. It's superior to that of Dark. And again, even though Dark has been remaxing time and time again, ByuN, his army's just getting better and better as time goes on. Meanwhile, Dark's army stays the same. Plows are thrown down. We dive on top of the army. Big tank volleys going off. Decent plows on those Marauders. The medevacs, they're running out of energy. We've been stimming quite a bit. But the Ravagers, they need support. With stim forward lings, they make it here just in time. And with these reinforcements, Dark, he gets on top of the tanks. Brings down 2 of them, brings down 3. And he also gets 14 SCVs. Finally, a good fight for Dark. The best fight so far, getting 14 workers, taking down the tanks. Whew. Okay, Dark, he's still in this. Things are looking a little bit dire for him, not gonna lie. But Dark, he makes that push worth it. Behind this, Viper production has begun. Hive is completed, of course. Dark getting ready for, what is this, the 5th wave? The 5th push? We are getting ready. ByuN trying to fortify himself. How many tanks are we on? 3 tanks. But now we're making 2 tanks at a time. With a 4-base economy, yeah, we can afford that. Oh. Looks like there may be some latency going on here. I'm looking at you, Enki. I mean, but if Dave sees lag and no one else does, then Dave is lagging. That's typically how it goes. So, yeah. Speaking of Enki, that was speaking of, feels Enki, man. Okay. You see Dark reinforcing with those Vipers. Again, with the help of these Vipers, we can, of course, blinding out those tanks. We're going for the MP, we miss. Good snipe, though. Good snipe on a Viper. The power bomb goes off. We do shut down some of those Metamax. Good damage. Plus 2 Metamax going down for a power bomb. But we did lose a Viper. And here come the Bailings. Finally, Lingbane Roach Ravager. Dark refining his army. Do we have Bailing speed? We do have Bailing speed. Yeah, not too far behind with his own army supply, though. Dark expanding towards top left, saturating that base. Has yet to take bottom right, though. Setting up for a run by. He's got his eyes on that planetary. 3-3 is done for the Terran. Still +3 melee just starting here for our Zerg player, for Dark. Is forced back. Roach gets shut down. We got +2 vehicle weapons on the way. Again, we're just amassing more tanks, and I'm getting some deja vu with how ByuN wants to play this out. Here comes the Link Bay. We're going for the planetary. And we're getting in. Baileys, they do crash on forward. Nice juggling there with ByuN. He does bleed out 11 SCVs, but he saves what he can. The planetary lives. Planetary survives. Dark gets a tank. He's forced back. Spire is on the way. We're getting ready for the muta switch. Let's go. If you remember, Dark actually didn't make any mutas until he got 2-2. He waited for his upgrades. So I'm curious how Dark plays this and whether he prioritizes upgrades first or just goes into mutas. Festers are on the way. Vipers are already out. ByuN now stabilizing on 4 bases, now taking a 5th. ByuN is not as secure as he was in game 1 or in the previous game. Not yet. He's still getting there. He still is lacking that wall of turrets and planetaries. Dark has been far more aggressive and far more in ByuN's face. But Dark, he's waiting for those upgrades to kick in. Waiting on 3-3-3. Infestors, Spire. Neural this time is on the way. We do prioritize Neural. The last game, it only kicked in towards the end. And here we go. Do try to push in. Try to push in, and there it is. Greater Spire here from Dark. We saw that Dark avoided Broodlords in game 1 or in the last game, but this time it looks like he's embracing it. Tries to punish ByuN. Gets a ghost. But yeah, I appreciate this here from Dark. He's going for more spellcasters, going for a slower style. Once he bleeds out a lot of his Lingbane Roach Ravager, it's going to be replaced here by Broodlord Infestor. It's a slower style, but it is more efficient. Or it can be more efficient. Do roll in. We do take down some of these tanks. That was an interesting trade here by Dark as he plummets in supply, but looks like he was clearing up supply for the Corruptors. Here we go. Corruptors are on the way. Greater Spire about to finish. Now, what's scary and what we have to be careful of is that, sure, like, Broodlords are great. No, we scan, we get eyes on the Greater Spire, and these are 0-0 upgrades for now. Like, we are still lacking flyer upgrades for Dark. So the Corrupted Broodlord is not going to really hit its stride yet. Nice catch from ByuN. He does pick off, what is that, 5 spores? Jesus. 5 Broodlords on the way. Good surround, but we have the medevacs. We do pick up. We get the hell out of there. Ooh. The tank does fall. Thought production has commenced. As I mentioned before, because of that scan, ByuN, he's aware of the Broodlords. He's getting ready for it. Getting into Viking production, getting into Thors. ByuN is getting ready. As he's going for a double jump towards the top left. Oh, the spine crawlers are buying some time, but they're all going down. Spine crawlers are picked off. We get into the middle line. A couple of drones go down as well. Yeah, the infestors are too little too late. Bungles are not going off. And do we catch a brood? Oh, almost. Whew, clutch transfuse. We keep the brood lord alive. 1-1 is on the way for those broods. You catch a ghost. Oh, we get a second ghost as well. And ByuN has to retreat. The broodlords, they take control of the goal base. And where are those Vikings? Where are those Thors? They're coming in. How many Vikings do we have? Oh, only 2. Only 2 Vikings, but we snipe top left. Hatchery goes down. Broodlords, they have their eyes on the planetary. Now remember, there are infestors supporting these broodlords with neural, with fungals. So we have to take care. Scan does reveal it. ByuN getting in position. It's going to be 10 broodlords versus 3 Thors, 4 Vikings. We have 10 ghosts. Going for the mineral line. Yeah, this is a really abusable position here. 11 SCVs go down. The broodlords even forcing friendly fire from the tank. The Viking count still lackluster. Good dodge here on the fungal. Yeah, the fungals, they graze the army. A good spread with the Vikings. Yeah, Dark is forced to back up. The Viper's finally coming in. And it's going to be a lot to control here for Dark. These broodlords looking a bit exposed. The snipes are going off. We get one. We do get one brood. We're down to 9. The ghosts are on the hunt. Up. Oh my god. And where are those infestors? This time we almost catch some of those queens. Dark pulling back. The Thor count and the Viking count is getting higher. That's what's scary here. Like, the initial revelation of these broodlords was impactful, right? We, like, denied mining at the goal base. We picked off a couple of units, a couple of tanks, a couple of ghosts. But now that anti-air army is becoming that much more terrifying. ByuN is up to 8 Vikings now, 5 Thors, 14 ghosts. And he's still up against 9 broods. Oh! Good EMP, we catch an infestor. We have 3 more though. Shows the fungal. Yeah, we catch a ghost, we catch the Vikings. Ooh, the chain fungal as well. Yeah, the Baileys, they roll in, they collapse on the ghost, but here come the Thors, and we're in the back line. Yeah, the Thor Viking forcing back the army. A lot of ghosts went down. Does ByuN have enough? The Biles? Ooh, the Biles take down the Vikings. Good connections there for Dark. But ByuN is still gaining ground, forcing him back. The power bombs, yeah, the Vikings gonna be shut down as well. The Viking count is reset. And ByuN cannot push. Looking at the trades, that was a lot going on. That was 3 broodlords going down. Ooh, Dark did lose all of his infestors. And he has 1 infestor left. Yeah, 1 infestor remaining here. The broodlord count, we're doubling down. The scan does reveal it. Really important scan here. We spoke about this in the last game, about how in this kind of game state, the power of the Zerg is that if ByuN makes too many Thors and too many Vikings, then we can go for an Ultra switch. We can go for Ultras. So it's so important that ByuN confirms that there are no Ultras on the way, that we still have more broodlords. So ByuN knows it's okay to keep making Vikings. If he ever sees that the broodlord count is low and it's staying low, then he has to be careful and, like, pull off the Vikings. Speaking of ultras, do we even have an ultra cavern? Ooh, we don't. Uh-oh. We actually don't have an ultra cavern, so we can't actually go for a tech switch. We're kind of stuck with this. So Dark doesn't have that available, which can become an issue. What do we have? We have the Roach Warren, we have the Bailey Nest. Yeah, we don't really have that capability here. Dark, he's stuck with a Broodlord Infestor, which can still work. And ByuN also doesn't know that there's no Ultra Cavern, so he's always going to be scanning, always going to be checking. Snipe's going to be going up. Oh, leading out a couple of ghosts here. Where are the infestors? Yeah, the infestor's a little bit too far back. We break through. We try to at least. At the same time, I'll force you on the left-hand side. Ling Bane rolling forward, going for the surround. Yeah, we collapse on the army. Big Baneling connections. We shut down the ghosts. Really rough loss here for ByuN. Trading out ghosts for Ling Bane. So really good pick off by Dark. Catches how many ghosts? 9 ghosts. Oh god, 10 ghosts actually. Ghosts go down. ByuN has to rebuild. Dark already maxed out. You can see ByuN trying to expand here towards top left, but there is a borrowed Ling being such a nuisance. When it comes to the spellcasters, we have 5 infestors now, 2 Vipers. A good spellcaster count here for Dark. ByuN is pushing once again on the left-hand side. The Broodlords, they think about rotating over, but no, we're going to be committing. Broodlords are pushing in. Ling Rumbai catches out some of these tanks. How many do we get? Oh. Ooh, none. These 2 tanks got so low. It's on 1 HP. 1 HP tank. It lives. So does this one on 8 HP. Okay, good defense here by ByuN. Doesn't lose any tanks. Snipes going off, we catch some of the queens. You can see that the infestors, they're ready to punish this. Go for the fungal, don't quite connect. Oh, we do punish Dark there. Broodlord goes down. At the same time, Ling Bane counterattack, does catch the orbital. No mining. Powerbomb here on the Vikings. Oh, and a late split. Yeah, late split there by ByuN. A lot of damage dealt to the Vikings. Good power bombs while the fight was going on towards the top left. Yeah, Vikings are cleaned up, forced to go back into more Viking production. ByuN is taking bottom right, but Dark is here to stop that from happening. Going for the caustic spray. I'm trying to. Meanwhile, ByuN, he is bunched up. We're going for the fungal. Oh, going for the neural even. Yeah, we catch 2 of those Thors. We're going for the EMPs, but big fungals. And Dark, has he caught ByuN? Yeah, a lot of ghosts going down. He catches 2 of the Thors as well. Very nice pickoffs. Yeah, ByuN, he plummets in supply. That was 6 ghosts going down. And 3 Thors. Oof, that was brutal. And ByuN, he doesn't have a bank. He can't really afford these losses. I mean, Dark has also been burning through his bank as well, to be fair. Meanwhile, ByuN finally breaking through the space. Likewise, so is Dark, trading a base for a base. Also getting some SCVs. Likewise, drones going down. Dark rotating over, moving with his Ling Bane. He does catch some of these ghosts once again. 2, 3, 4 ghosts going down. A good catch by Dark. Does lose a base. We still have mining going on though. We're not quite at that late game, like that end stage without any economy. And the army's left idle. Oh, ByuN, he gets caught out. He leaves the army idle right next to the creep. We catch out more ghosts, and ByuN, he's losing too much. He's bleeding out far too much here. Getting caught out multiple times. And Dark has a bank. ByuN does not. Not anymore. He does get a fresh mining base. And if he can slow the game down, he can try to catch back up, but here comes a Ling Rumbai. ByuN is in position. At the same time, Broodlord's pushing forward. Oh, this space is exposed. And there's a lot of minerals here. There's a lot to mine. That's a big loss here for ByuN. The planetary is going to go down. ByuN does find some drones, but loses the base. Yeah, And Darky's running away with this. In the last game, Darky was avoiding the more slower style of Broodlord Infestor. Here he embraces it and uses it quite well, even without tech switching. Snipe's going to be going up. Catch some of the queens at least. But ByuN is being starved out. Yeah, Dark even taking some of ByuN's bases. Dark's like, you made me do this. He's like, I wanted to play with mutas, Bobby. I just wanted muta play. You couldn't let me. Here come the ghosts. Nice catch. Oh, we get 2 ghosts, but the League Mate punishes. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough moment there for ByuN. Once again, does snipe some more of those Brood Lords. This time, Dark not quite in position with the Ling Bane. Not quite. The Hellbats, they arrived a little bit too late to support the ghosts. ByuN is taking another base. Still has gas here as well, I believe. Yeah, it's 200 gas towards the left. Ah, but this is a fresh base. Oh, but there's so much money here. Dark taking both bases on the right-hand side. Likewise, ByuN doing the same towards the top left. Can ByuN catch up? It's on Dark right now, because Dark, he's gaining ground. He's pushing towards the production, towards the main bases here of ByuN. But that also means that Dark, he isn't really punishing these fresh bases. Yeah, because because Dark isn't applying pressure here, like getting 2 bases up and running. Big moment for ByuN. He's still in this. We have mules. Do have those mules getting up to 15 ghosts. 3 Thors, 5 Vikings. And this time we do have a solid Hellbat count to protect said ghosts. And Snipe's going to be going up. Do catch a couple of those Broodlords. Ling Bane this time late to respond. But the Broodlords, they keep on pushing. They get on top of the tank. Meanwhile, ByuN did take down a hatchery, but the hatchery was mined out. Wasn't much going on at that base. That was 2 ghosts for 2 Broodlords. Bit of a give and take. But an even trade is not good enough for ByuN. No one needs to be behind like this. Dark trying to wedge his way in between the bases. And coming in once again. Fungal doesn't quite connect. Here we go. Here the Fungals. Massive connection. Oh my god, the chain Fungals. The ghosts get caught out. The Bailings roll in. Oh, massive catch here from Dark, and ByuN. His army's melting. He's getting caught out. He's getting annihilated here, and Dark, he can go for the kill. There's nothing left to stop him. Went down to 2 Thors. And the Broodlord count is still high. Up. Bungle doesn't quite connect, but we catch a couple of ghosts. Good enough. GG gets called. ByuN running out of steam, and Dark will take it. After like an hour, he takes game 1. GG. GG, well played. After a draw, after a tie in game number 1, we had to remake, rebuild, and Dark does take it. He takes a lead, 1-0. Oh my god. Bobby, I was looking forward to like a shorter broadcast. I was like, yo, we can maybe sleep early tonight. Let's go. No, Bobby, no, that's not happening. God. Let's go. That was over an hour for game 1. And with that, Dark takes a lead. And this is still a best of 5. This is still a best of 5, by the way. Plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more opportunities here to bounce back. This is a game of stamina, by the way. This is a series of stamina where we've been locked in already for over an hour, and the show must go on. We keep on going. We're getting ready for our next game. We're getting ready for Crimson Court. Oh god. I'm catching up in the chat, man. I'm catching up. Last game, is the game score wrong, or does that mean another series? They drew it in game 1. Yeah. Shout out to Mess Makers in the chat for clarifying that. Thank you. Not another draw. That would have been crazy if we saw another draw. Not again. They just want to play the late game, papi. True. I mean, hey, that's post-youth for you. That is post-youth, and with that, game 1 is in the books, and we're getting into game number 2. Whew. Oh my god. Papi. Could be loading into Crimson Court to see whether or not Dark can extend his lead in the series, or whether ByuN can bring it back in that second game. We're in game 3, I guess. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0. That was quite a game 1. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, down in the series, looking to bounce back in that second game. It is ByuN. And it's been a hot minute, but ByuN opening up 2-Rax Reaper. Let's go. It's been a while. Of course, ByuN did popularize this build last year in the beginning of 2023, actually at the end of 2022. It was around November. It was DreamHack Atlanta of that year where ByuN and Maru did take a special build and turned it into their own. Of course, ByuN did refine it over the course of 2023. And there is that second Rax. Now, there are different variations of this. It could be 2-Rax Reaper. We could even go for a hidden third Rax in the main and go 3-Rax Reaper instead. But that is very out of meta nowadays. It's been even longer since I've seen that build from ByuN. Should just be 2-Rax Reaper into an expand. Now, if you're curious how this works, the goal of this opener for ByuN is to contain and delay the third base. It's to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases and delay the third for as long as we can. Dark already mining through these gold minerals on the right hand side to gain access to this third base location. We'll see if he can get there as the Reapers are on the way. Reapers are amassing. Now, this should only be 3 Reaper. There's just 3 Reapers here before we go into add-ons and go into marine production. But it also depends on how greedy Dark is, as he is going right for that third. Meanwhile, across the map, Dark, he has yet to confirm what's going on. This is a gasless opener. Uh-oh. Dark, I'm not really feeling this. He's being too greedy, and here come the Reapers, and now Dark knows what's going on. So, what just happened here? Dark, he opened up gasless. By not taking a gas, by cutting drone production with not saturating the gas geyser, goes for a much faster third base. A very greedy build here by Dark. Without link speed, he won't have a way to shut down the Reapers, and ByuN, he can punish this. He can punish this quite hard. The first Reaper has arrived. We go for the mineral line. Going for those links. Queens are on the way, but we're still amassing more Reapers behind this. There's second Reaper's on the way. Third Reaper in production. ByuN, he does get eyes on the minerals that have been mined through. He hasn't actually checked the third base yet. I mean, the third is about to finish. Can ByuN get any drone kills? Rotates into the main base. Queens are keeping up. So far, so good by Dark. He's holding. And back at home, ByuN is transitioning. Now, what this does is that this transitions into a 2-1-1. 2 Raxes, a factory, a starport. We're going to be hitting a strong stim timing. Meanwhile, the Reapers, they try to dip into the natural. They don't get much done, though. They've gotten 2 links so far. They've not gotten any drones. And Dark, honestly, this has really shaped up. As long as he can keep up with the Reaper rotations, and he doesn't lose a single drone. Not a single worker has gone down. ByuN, how does he respond to this? Rushing into his third CC before starport. So 3 CC, 2-1-1 here from ByuN. Stim should soon be on the way. And Dark, I was about to say that usually when you open up gasless, because your gases are so late, it's not worth making link speed. It's not worth getting into how late link speed is. We're skipping link speed, going straight into roaches. Okay, so far so good for Dark. He's been able to maintain his 3-base saturation. He doesn't lose any drones. He's getting into roaches. The next big moment is going to be the stim timing. Can Dark defend against this? Roaches, they're pretty hefty units. They're pretty good defensively. So I want to favor Dark here, but it depends on how greedy he is. And depending on the angle of attack, ByuN could still catch him off guard. Wait, we can't. Interesting. We canceled Stim. Wait, what? ByuN canceled Stim to start up Cloak. Very bold move. Okay. So ByuN just restarted Stim instead. Now, this is risky. This is inefficient, and that's why this can work. So, winding it back, when it comes to the meta of StarCraft, a 2-1-1 is what we've scouted. Dark, he scouted a 2-1-1. What that means is usually a 16 Marine, Stim timing with 2 medevacs. Off of this opener, you would never see Banshee play because it's inefficient, right? The medevacs are not here. Medevacs aren't here, which means the Stim timing is going to be delayed, and that's why we canceled. Basically, there's no reason for Dark to have spores. There's no reason for him to have spores. These Banshees are designed to catch him off guard, but he spots it with the Overlord. ByuN, bit premature, does reveal his Banshees, and Dark is getting in position. Spores are on the way. ByuN showing his hand a little bit too soon here. And now Dark knows. Now he's getting ready. Again, I was about to praise ByuN, saying that, like, going for Banshees here is really out of left field and it would catch Dark off guard, and there's no shot that he's going to have spores, and if we wait a little bit longer, we can get a lot of damage done. But ByuN, he showed his hand a little bit too early, and these Cloak Banshees aren't going to do too much. And we delayed Stim for this. We delayed medevac production for this. Now we go for the add-on top. Now we're getting some medevacs. Dark, he's been freely droning. He's up to almost 70 workers. And ByuN's in an awkward position. Like, these Banshees need to get damage done, but I'm not sure if they will. Uh-oh. There is no sport. The natural, though. Dark. Pappy. What's going on as we skip the spore? Queen goes down. We're wreaking havoc here. And even though we saw the Banshees, there was no spore. 5 drones go down. Okay, ByuN makes up for it. Now, to be fair, this should not have happened. Dark had a spore at the 3rd and in the main base, but the natural was exposed, so ByuN finds damage anyway. Thankfully. So we're good. We have a back and forth. We got 5 drone kills. The Banshees escape. Behind this, we're going for a Spire. Okay, we're just tech switching once again here from Dark. Getting ready for mutas. Here comes that Stim push from ByuN. And what does Dark have to defend? He's got 15 roaches, but his army is fragmented. We have roaches on the right. We have roaches on the left. ByuN does them in, but he does dive on the roaches. Tries to at least. He gets one. One roach forced to lift up, forced to head into the main base. And Dark does defend. Okay, this was a bit of an anti-timing. 1-1 finishes up just now. Upgrades are finishing up. The Spire has not been scouted, by the way. Quickly just double checking. Yeah, no vision on the Spire. 1 Banshee goes down. We do get a Queen. Still no spore, by the way. Dark just trying to cut corners. Ooh, we do not get eyes on the Spire. Banshee falls. Double drop into the main. Lings are keeping up. And we have 10 mutas in production. Their goal, to chase down these medevacs and to shut them down. Hopefully ByuN does unload them. Yeah, it does unload, going for the overlords. Mutas are on the way. ByuN back at home. Now, what's important is ByuN has been very active. He's been very active, and because that Dark has been stuck at home defending, ByuN has been able to saturate his 3rd. He's going for a 4th. His economy has been left untouched. ByuN is on 81 SCVs. A solid economy here for ByuN. He is a solid economy, but the Spire's been unscattered. No turrets in any of these mineral lines. And here come the mutas. 10 mutas, that is more than enough to one-shot SCVs. We could even get the tank. As the mutas dive in. 1 tank goes down. We get 3 SCVs as well. Good pickups here by Dark. Yeah, ByuN forced to pick up, forced to race back home as well. Again, the trades here, 4 SCVs, tanks, a couple of Marines, for nothing. Dark doesn't lose a single muta, and he can rotate back in. He can find some more SCVs here. Swan gets 2. 2 more workers, gets the tower. Gets a Marine. Behind this, he's amassing Link Bane Roach. Dark still trying to piece this all together. There are 2 tanks in position. We cannot push up this ramp. Dark forced back. Widowmine production has commenced. We do pick off some of these mutas. But again, Dark, he's not replenishing these mutas. He only made 10, and he's focusing on Link Bane. Infestation bits on the way. That's going to be for Hive Tech. Mutas rotating back around. Ooh, they don't quite get the tower, since tower does survive. Meanwhile, ByuN does catch a good chunk of Banelings. And Dark with his pants down. More Banelings get targeted down. Nice trades. At the same time, here comes a big counterattack, and there is nothing in position. But we do react in time. Marines, they race on over. Banelings trying to crush in, and they do not connect. At the same time, Dark going for the forward base, and he will break through. Decent Baneling connections on the Marines. We shut down the base. We get 14 SCV kills. Good damage dealt here by Dark. He pulls back, and he will have enough time to rebuild and replenish the Link Bane. I would say that the run by here towards the south was a little bit lackluster, but the push in the center was good. The Hive is a little bit delayed, though. It is a late Hive, so there's going to be a big upgrade disparity here. 3-3 is going to kick in first for ByuN, so he will have an upgrade advantage. Mutas, meanwhile, going back into that natural, threading the E-Bays, but we should be able to save them. Mutas don't do much damage to buildings. Bane rolling in. Oh! One Widowmine goes down. The second shot does go off. Big connection on the Lings. Very nice connection. Other Widowmine also on the Lings, but we do deny that center base. Once again, SCVs, no, they come back too soon. 14 SCVs go down. Dark busting into that 4th base. Busting into the 3rd at the same time, though. ByuN going for a counter drop. Takes down a hatchery. They still lost so many workers. Dark forced to pull back, and ByuN's not done. He will catch all these drones. Oh my god, 10, 13, 19 drones go down. Both players' economies are hurting. This drop more than paying for itself, killing a base at a mineral line. 23 drones. And bearing in mind, ByuN has mules. He's still on 4 bases. Speaking of mules. You can be on a lower worker count and still have a better economy, and here comes ByuN pushing right through the center. Dark needs time to rebuild his Link Bane. The Banelings are on the way, but they're not ready. That's 20 Banelings in production and 0 ready for this push. And the Banelings, they're not going to finish. Dark, he's caught with his pants down. Need a little bit more time. Big mine shots going off. And the Banelings, they do nothing. And Dark has nothing left. Yeah, ByuN stimming on forward. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. A very close game there. Again, Dark was doing well for himself. He was crippling the economy, but that drop on the right-hand side was the MVP, just shutting down a base, shutting down all those drones. And of course, Dark, he threw away a lot of Link Banelings in his aggression, and he was a little bit too late to replace those Banelings. Without them, there's nothing you can do. Without Banelings, how do you stop that Bio army? You don't. You don't stop that army. ByuN snowballed out of control, and with that, ties up the series. GG, well played. Oh my god, that was crazy. That was an intense game, man. Very bad. Remember, it all started with 2-Axe Reaper against a gasless build that Dark got away with, by the way. Like, there was a lot coming into it. Remember, it followed with the Cloaked Banshees that got scouted, but there was no Spore at the natural, so they still got damage done anyway, despite the scout. It was a wild game. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions. With that, we're getting into game 3 to determine who takes a lead in this series. We're loading in to Oceanborn. That's some mule hammer. That was a lot of mules, Pappy. That was a lot of mules. Here we go. Game number 3 taking place on Oceanborn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Talon Esports. Being forced into a tied-up series, can he bounce back? It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, tying up that series 1-1. Can he gain that? Can he use that momentum to take a lead in this series? It is ByuN. Get a very intense game there. ByuN did emerge victorious in that second game. Now we find ourselves tied up 1-1. This time going for a Rax on the high ground, so it is not going to be a 2 Rax Reaper build. Not this time, not on Oceanborn. Meanwhile, Dark going for a Hatch Gas pull. I don't expect us to be seeing another gasless build, not so soon after Crimson Court. We should be settling into a much more standard build instead. There's that gas geyser. Okay. We're calming things down, Papi. We're calming things down. Oh my god. Game is calming down. ByuN going for a CC on the low ground. And we shouldn't really be spicing things up too much here. I'm just curious to see if ByuN goes for a third CC before Starport, if he goes for a 2-1-1. My eyes are mainly on ByuN here when it comes to his build of choice. From the side of Dark, Roach play is not unheard of on Oceanborn. We see it quite often, especially from the side of Dark. It can be a very safe way to open up as well to head into the mid game. And Dark is quite fond of his Roaches, so I would not be surprised if he embraces Roach play once again, or if he goes into Ling bait. We'll keep an eye on Dark. Reaper is moving out across the map. Again, just going to be dancing with the initial units of Dark. We're going to pick up a drone if at all possible. Factory is on the way. And the Reaper will threaten that mineral line, going for a drone. Oh, the KDA charge. Very nice movement here by ByuN, getting one drone already. That should not have happened, and he's going for a second. He should not get it. We do force out that gas geyser, but a good start for ByuN. Again, usually you dance with the Lings, you don't really get anything. You maybe get a Ling or two, but a drone is very valuable. As Dark gets his third. Dark is working on his third. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a 3cc, a third CC before Starports. Standard economic build here out of ByuN. Nothing too fancy. There's that Starport now on the way. Going for the add-on assault, we should be seeing a tech lab on this Rax. And if we do see a tech lab, we can go for an add-on assault for Banshees. Or we could try to embrace something a little bit different. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that would-be tech lab. Reaper dipping in. Does confirm the third, zoned away by the Queens. And meanwhile, Dark is amassing a lot of Lings. We have 16 Lings on the way. Ling speed kicks in and we do catch the Reaper. Behind this, oh, tech lab is a little bit late. We're not going for the add-on swap. Viking opener. Okay. No Banshees, no add-on swap. It's going to be a Viking into Hellion here from ByuN. Lings are going to be threatening that mineral line. We did notice the surge of Lings earlier. Good positioning with the Hellions. Yeah, Lings are going down. And the whole position on the SCVs, very nicely done. Despite that, 3, 4, 5 SCVs go down. Ooh. Pretty intense amount of damage here. We're going to be cutting back all the way behind the mineral line. Hellion goes down. We get one, we get both. Both Hellions do fall, but we're running out of Lings. We're running out of aggression. Dark is droning, and he will bleed out these Lings. He's going for one more SCV, but oh, can he get it? Not quite. Not in the main. Does get 8 workers in total. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, yes, we killed 8 SCVs, that's good. True, but on the flip side of things, that was 20 Lings, and most of those Lings could have been drones. Now, we are going to be droning up behind this. We're going for a delayed add-on swap. Okay, I see you. Did we spot the add-on swap, by the way? We did not. Viking is revealed. Thankfully, Dark is getting safety spores, but based on the positioning, these locations are for liberators. We have a spore here on the edge of the mineral line, same here on the left-hand side. This means that the bases are actually vulnerable to cloak banshees. Once again, it's a similar kind of mindset to the previous game, where when you open up 2 racks, banshees are the last thing on your mind. Likewise, when you open up Viking, banshees are also the last thing on your mind, because your banshees are going to be late, they're going to be delayed, it's inefficient technically. So it's a good way to kind of subvert expectations. It's a kind of a good way to catch the Zerg player off guard. I know we're pulling Star Wars on Dark. Let's go. As the third base is going to be taken here by ByuN. Dark will get eyes on this. Banshees are amassing. Now, this time we're banking up the Banshees. If you remember in the last game, ByuN did reveal his hands, and it did mean that Dark was a little bit more prepared for it. This time we're banking up the Banshees back at home. We're waiting for the second Banshee, and we're waiting for Cloak as well. No Spore at the third. Dark double expanding, going for his fourth and his fifth. Getting into Ling Bane. Double Evo Chamber. Again, the upgrades in the Evo Chambers are late because of the Ling Flood earlier. So it did slow Dark down in other ways. And here come those Banshees. I like that the Hellions were just here to make sure there were no links to scout. And we can get a lot done. Do we have any detection? The answer is no. No Overseer, no Spores. And we're headed for the fourth base. Drones are going down. And there's no way to stop this. We're going to get 3, we're going to get 4, we're going to get 5, 6 drones go down, and we can keep going. There's no Spore at the third. We're going for the Banelings. Good pickups. Banelings going down. We head into the main base. Thankfully, there is a Spore in the main. So we will stop the Banshees here. That is still good damage, and we keep the Banshees alive. And we get one more drone. Were we too greedy? We were. A little bit too greedy there. 1 Banshee falls. But a Banshee for 8 drones is worth it, and we're not done. We get another drone. It's going to be 10 workers in total for a Banshee. So a good trade for ByuN. Still keeping 1 Banshee alive, still threatening that mineral line. Gets another drone. And behind this, we're settling into... Oh my god. Settling into 3 bases. We have 2 more factories on the way. Triple factory production. Jesus. That's going to be a lot of tanks. That's going to be quite a surge of tanks available here for ByuN. Double Drop is moving out. Dark, meanwhile, transitioning into Ling Bane Hydra. Hydra upgrades on the way. Dark has a good base count here, and his drone count is now looking solid, but he had to replace a lot of those drones. And of course, he was kept busy by the Banshees, so he couldn't really harass across the map. And here comes the drop. Catch an Overlord. We get the Spore. We can trade against these links. Good positioning here behind the mineral line before being forced to pick up. So a very nice drop so far by ByuN. Does escape. Behind this, 4th base getting up and running. And again, ByuN, he's been on a low tank count for now, but now with triple factory, we're making 3 tanks at a time. You know what that means? That means we're turtling. That's what this means. with making 3 tanks at a time, yep, turrets are going to be on the way, CCs, planetaries. ByuN, he's looking to wall up. Very similar to what happened on Post-Youth. Oh boy. As we are spreading out our tanks, we have tanks covering the natural, the 3rd, and the 4th. Now, we are spreading ourselves a little bit thin, and ByuN doesn't have the supply to fully defend both locations at once. No! That was a manual detonation. Oh, I can't believe I just missed that. I mean, I'm kind of happy I just missed that. Oh, that was not good. 18 more Banelings morphed in. But yeah, that was just a bunch of Banelings detonating here on the left-hand side. Aye, aye, aye. And with that, Dark is going to replace. I mean, thankfully, ByuN isn't pushing, so I mean, we can. It's okay. We can rebuild. It's fine. We can rebuild. It's fine. As Dark is going to try to collapse on this position. The tanks are sieged up though. Yeah, forcing away in between the bases. Big tank volleys going up in the Ling Bane. Kiting back as best we can. And can we make our way into the mineral line? We can. Banelings, they bust in and we take down 9 SCVs. Did I say 9? 19. 21 SCVs go down. Good attack here by Dark, shutting down the tanks as well and camping the production. Yeah, ByuN is being broken. Who needs Banelings? We can just detonate them for nothing. It's fine. 26 SCVs go down and ByuN plummets in that supply. Now Dark doesn't have enough to kill ByuN yet, but he has crippled him. ByuN is crippled. He's on the ground. And Dark is looking to remax, rebuild, and go in for a second wave. So here we go. Rocks are being knocked down. Knocking down the rocks. Soon remaxing with Ling Bane. I believe we have. Do we have Vipers? We do. There we go. We have 3 Vipers behind this. Sorry, 4 Vipers behind this, gathering up energy. There, 3. I thought the Queen was a Viper for a moment. They are regathering their energy, getting ready for that second wave. ByuN though, I mean, he had so many mules available, and with his mass muling here, ByuN is almost remaxed. I'm a little bit in shock. He lost 26 SCVs. But with the power of mule, we are replenishing our army. Oh my god. I'm impressed. Now, what I will say is that ByuN is still trying to refortify here. We have more depots on the way. The tanks are getting back in position. But just as Dark remaxes, so does ByuN. He's able to keep up. ByuN keeps up. Blinding Cloud's being thrown down. Decent Blinding Cloud, but there's a big tank volleys going off. The Baileys once again going for the mineral line. Good kiting here by ByuN. The Marines survive. The Marines, they survive. They clean up the Ling Bane. And this time we only lose 7 SCVs. Oof. ByuN taking a much better fight. Did lose a bunch of tanks. He lost 6 tanks. But he killed 161 Lings. The Vipers and 23 Banelings. Again, a much more efficient fight here for ByuN. And now he's taking another base. Now he's no longer contained to 4 bases. He takes a 5th. And Dark is in trouble. I mean, we're working on 3-3, but Dark has to rebuild his spellcasters. We're down to 1 Viper. Down to 1 Viper. And again, this was like the ideal for ByuN to fight back at home defensively with the SimCity. Dark rolling in, but with minimal Banelings. Good kiting here by ByuN. We do get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. But we are bleeding out a lot of Ling Bane here. Again, not enough Banelings. ByuN getting on top of some of the Hydras. Reinforcements do come in. Dark forcing this back, but here come the tanks. Now, I'm pretty sure ByuN isn't going to counterattack. I'm pretty sure the goal here, as I mentioned before, especially with producing 3 tanks at a time, we just want to establish the 5th, and then we're walling up. 5th base is on the way. We're throwing down more CCs, more orbitals. We're going to be throwing down some more depots here to wall off. And Dark, he's just, again, turtling. Now, because ByuN is being more defensive like this, and there are those turrets that we spoke about, it means that Dark, he's free to remax once again. Like, his economy has been left untouched, so he can remax. He does rotate over towards the left-hand side. But I would like to see a transition to Hive Tech, as the planetary is going to go down. A very nice catch here from Dark. Does take down the planetary. Oh, but is Punish trying to push up the ramp? Has to be careful. 60 or 59 Lings going down. Viper got sniped. ByuN is going to be quick to replace. And Dark is working towards Ultras. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Ultras are really good fighting out in the open, but pushing into these entrenched siege lines, Ultras, they are not ideal. No, it would be ideal, Brood Lords. Meanwhile, Ling Bei rolls in. We do catch 2 of these tanks. Tanks low ground, 50 more SCVs go down. We don't quite get the base, but we do get the workers. ByuN knocked down to 64 workers. It does take a big blow to his economy. A big blow to his supply. Still doubling down on tanks. Again, that's what I mean. Like, because we're so tank heavy here, something like Broodlords, or hey, you know, like in game 1, Dark, if we really want to, like a Muta switch, sure, if that's what you go for. Whether it's Broodlords, whether it's Mutas, it would be a good call. Especially because, like, now looking at the banks here, Dark is burning through his bank every time. Like, these are not great trades. Losing a lot of banelings, I should say. A lot of gas. Burning through a lot of his gas. This position is still looking a little bit exposed here by ByuN. And we have 3 Vipers. Let's go. EMPs don't quite connect. Banelings are rolling in. Tanks that were caught on siege. Good blinding clouds. And once again, we do shut down the tank counts. We don't get as many SCVs, but the Lings are doing what they can. ByuN does hold. Forces back the army. Only 5 workers go down. But we did kill how many tanks? 7. Oh my god. 7 tanks, man. We did shut down 7 of those tanks. That did cost Dark a lot of supply. Now we go for the Spire. I would have loved to have seen the Spire instead of the Ultra Cavern, but we're working towards it. Like, Dark, he does recognize the value in the Spire. We're getting there. Are getting there. As ByuN's still weathering the storm. Now, Dark is taking every base on the map. Every hatchery, or every base now under control of Dark. Hatcheries everywhere, Lings they roll in. Once again, we get on top of the tanks. 2, 3 tanks go down. Big snipes here on the Hydras. The Ghost, they hold the line. They hold the army line, but not the SCV. 17 more workers go down. Oh my god, I feel like I'm watching TY. That's a lot of dead workers. We go for a bit of a mule hammer, but only 3 mules. And ByuN gets punished for pushing on creep. Somewhat. Only losing 1 tank. As ByuN is forced back. When it comes to the army supplies, the armies are quite similar with each other. Greater Spires on the way with thinking of Broodlords, not Mutas. Have the potential Broodlord switch. Looking at our economies here, we're pretty well saturated. Yeah, there we go. We're just fixing up our saturation. Dark remaxing. Dark has somewhat of a bank working for him. Infestors on the way. And it feels like ByuN has been like tanking these hits to the face, but he's still standing. Like, it's not been pretty for his economy. I'm afraid to look. How many SCVs have we lost this game? 77. Not as many as I thought, but still. More SCVs than we have right now. 77 workers have fallen. Hellbat drop across the map. Let's go. Finally, ByuN doing something to the economy here of Dark. Bear in mind, even though Dark took these 2 bases, he's barely mined. He's barely mined from these bases, so they can technically be taken by ByuN. They can be taken. These roll in. Ooh, they run into a tank line. Especially this base here, this center right base is untouched. And this hatchery is going to go down. Dark being forced back. We do have Corruptors. Now, what's scary is that these are 0-0 Corruptors and Broodlords. They still pack a punch, don't get me wrong. I still like this, but the scan is perfect by... Oh my god. ByuN! He scans the army, he sees the Morphin, immediately Thors. Thors are on the way, Ghosts are on the way. We could be seeing Vikings as well. ByuN, he does spot the tech switch. He's getting ready. Despite that, Dark is the first to max out, and he's the first to rock up. How many Broodlords? We have 8 Broodlords, 5 Infestors. Broodlords that lead the charge. Fungal does connect. Second Fungal, not as much, but we do get 2 tanks. Sorry, 1 tank even. And a couple of the ghosts. Good pickoffs here. Yeah, 2 tanks go down, 3 tanks go down. 3 of those ghosts as well. Oof. Landing another Fungal. The counter snipes aren't looking too bad, but we do transfuse. And we top up those Broodlords, we keep them alive. Ooh, more snipes going off. That 8 Broodlord count now cut in half. We're down to 4. And the Thors, they're here. Thors are here, and they can focus on those Broodlords. Dark has to back off. He's remaxing with 22 Lings. Going for a counterattack. Oh, big Fungal. Oh my god. Do we have a follow-up though? We catch every single ghost, but yeah, there's no follow-up. The ghosts, they just take the Fungals to the face. They don't even care. They get on top of the Infestors. Dark abandoning his army, loses the Infestors, loses all the Broodlords. The Ling Bane on left-hand side tried to bust in, but did not get the planetary. Oh, ByuN holds. And now we're going into an Ultra switch. But ByuN has been careful. ByuN didn't make any Vikings. He didn't make any Vikings. He only made 3 Thors. Like, ByuN still has a good anti-Ultra army. Still relying on a lot of ghosts and a lot of tanks. If he had committed a little bit harder, then sure, the scans reveal the Thors. Yep, more tanks on the way now to respond against the Ultras. Again, good scouting, good scans here from ByuN. We're going to try and roll in. Blinding Clouds do catch the bulk of the army. Break through the first tank line. But we don't get any of the ghosts. At the same time, Ling run back towards the left-hand side. We should get the planetary. The Ultras, they're putting in some work. Base goes down. Ghosts are racing back. They should clean this up. And they take down the Ultras. I mean, we got a base, we got 20 SCVs. Oh, the burrowed. The burrowed Ultras. Meanwhile, Hydras, they push in on the right-hand side. There are no tanks, by the way. But we don't need them. Apparently. And tanks are repositioning. And ByuN, he gets a fresh mining base. He gets a fresh base here in the center right. Meanwhile, Dark finally saturating bottom left. Does saturate the base. Is fully mining. Oh, big tank lilies going off. We catch a lot of Banelings. And now ByuN can threaten this hatchery, by the way. He's pushing in. At the same time, so is Dark. Dark, he goes to the planetary. He will shut it down. And we trade a base for a base. Planetary for a hatchery. Now, ByuN did lose all of his workers, and Dark has kept his alive. Drones to escape. As ByuN is down to 19 SCVs. Oh my god. Barely an economy. No mining, actually. Uh-oh. We're mining out of resources here in the center base. We need top right desperately here. Even here in the bottom left, we only have a couple patches left. ByuN is running out of steam. He's running out of resources. Dark is remaxing. And the win condition for Dark at this point is to just deny these CCs. If he can deny the mining, then he can win the game. As I say that, ByuN does reinforce. That's a wall of tanks. Do we have any Vipers? No. Ooh, 0 Vipers, by the way, for Dark. That is concerning. No Blinding Clouds available, so breaking the siege line is going to be difficult. Dark is going for it. Does catch the ghosts. Whoa, big surround here. Ghosts are going to be shut down. Yeah, ByuN gets caught out, so now we can go for the tanks. They're left exposed. Who needs Vipers? A nice trade here from Dark. I want to say maybe the most efficient fight out of Dark. He got, what, 5 tanks? He got only 6 ghosts. He lost a lot of lings, mainly lings. Base is going to go down. We see Dark going for another ling counterattack, catching more tanks for lings. Lings, they get 3 tanks. And we deny mining. Yeah, ByuN has nothing to defend these right-hand bases. Pushing in. And we take some fungals to the face. Good spread here by ByuN. Does fall back to the Thors. We don't have enough lings. We're lacking Ling Bane. Ooh. Dark overextending. And ByuN is pushing out to one of the last mining bases here of Dark. We'll shut down the hatchery. Dark amassing more lings. Does he have neural? Does not. No neural. It's still on the way. He has fungals. Good EMPs. Good EMPs. We're forced to pick up. We shut down the Thors. The Thors go down. Neural still on the way. Now, what's important here is that the soup is actually a little bit... It's not really fully telling here. The army supplies are quite similar. Fungal doesn't quite connect. We do graze a medevac towards the end. But Dark, a lot of his supplies in drones. He has a massive supply here in drones, and they're not really doing much as we're heavily oversaturated. The army supplies are very close. Yeah, the soup does lie. And with long distance mining, let's go! Good scan. We get the infestor. Ooh, big EMP! Oh my god! That is so much supply and infestation, they can't do anything! GG gets called, we catch out the main army! And ByuN takes a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Oh my god. Dark was so reliant on those infestors. 1 EMP, Papi. All it takes. Shuts them all down. And ByuN does take it. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Of course, Dark, he had no lings, he had no banelings, or he had very little ling bane to support. He had a handful of hydras. Like, most of his army was infestor. And I mentioned at the time, the army supplies were neck and neck. And that's just basically all the army of Dark down the gutter there. GG, well played. MVP goes, MVP goes back. Oh my god. 17 workers and wins. The mules, Papi. Now, at the end of the day, it didn't matter how many workers there were. We mentioned at the time, even though Dark had 71 drones, he was still mining off of, like, 1 base. Like, 2 half bases, essentially. Like, the drone count didn't mean anything. It was making the soup look a little bit bigger than it was. You know how it is. GG, well played. With that, ByuN takes the lead in the series 2-1. And now we're headed into our next game, into game number 4. Can Dark tie things up here? Or will ByuN take it all? Game 4 is going to be on Amphion. Let's go. Let us go. Insane game, Papi. Insane game. I mean, again, that game was essentially just like, we mentioned at the time, like, in my mind, I see, like, Dark just punching ByuN in the face repeatedly, and ByuN just refused to go down. It was crazy. Like, time and time again, we saw Dark take down entire bases and entire mineral lines, and for the most part, Dark's economy was left untouched. That's why Dark had such a high drone count, because Dark wasn't losing any drones. But, you know, ByuN, at the end of the day, he was refining his army, building up his tank Thor ghost counts. Was still out trading Dark. And here we go, we're getting into our next game. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Here we go, the pressure is on. Going for a pull first. Okay, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. It is ByuN. Here we go. So interesting choice here by Dark going for the pull first. With this, he can try to go for an early Ling Flood. I say early Ling Flood, I'm talking 2 to 6 Lings moving out across the map. The Reaper should be going right through the center, so the Lings can bypass the Reaper, get across the map, and disrupt the opener and the CC of ByuN. And we're banking up that Larva. There it is, 6 Lings are on the way. So as I mentioned, the goal here is to avoid the Reaper and force a bit of chaos across the map. ByuN going for a CC on location. Just a straight up Rax expand. The Overlord should confirm this, and the Overlord should be getting eyes on the CC, sorry, on the Reaper. No SCV scout. Uh-oh. No SCV scout out of ByuN, so he won't know that it's a hatchery first. He won't have that forewarning. Reaper's moving out. And the Lings will avoid that Reaper. They're headed for the CC. Again, if ByuN had gone for an SCV scout, he would keep the Reaper at home. Because he would be aware of the faster spawning pool. Lings are going to be rolling on up. And we will delay the CC. Reaper turns back around. We're racing back home. CC is delayed. Boys are being pulled. Can we get any SCV kills? That's the question. Oh, so far good moving here by ByuN. Very nice control. Zones away with those SCVs. Lings, oh, they misclick on the rocks. Now with the Reaper coming back home, we have defended. We will clean this up, and we don't lose a single SCV. Now, we did delay the command center, at least that, but that was 6 Lings for 0 worker kills. So a very nice defense around ByuN, making the best out of a bad situation. And behind this, going for a 3rd CC before Starport. Very standard economic opener. Back at home, Dark redroning. Reaper has arrived. 3rd base is heavily delayed because of the opener. Now it's on the way, but this is a late 3rd for Dark. So ByuN's in a pretty nice position. Is in a pretty good position here. Reaper dips in, going for a drone kill. We shouldn't get one though. Oh, goes to the dive. He wants it. Won't get it. Ooh, quick gas trick there from Dark. Queen does come in from the right-hand side. We shut down the Reaper. Very nice catch. Reaper goes down. ByuN, has he scouted the main? He has not scouted the main base. For all ByuN knows, there could be a fast Roach Warren here. So, bit of a risky or precarious position here for ByuN. Behind this, going for a Viking first. No Banshees. Now, bearing in mind, if you remember earlier in this series, we saw ByuN go Viking first into an add-on swap into a surprise delayed Banshee push, or Banshee harass, which did do a lot of damage. So that's also a big possibility here. ByuN has already shown it once in the series, could do it again, or not. It's a really good way to play out the series, is to have that uncertainty in the mind of Dark. Because once the Viking is revealed, I mean, it could still be Banshee. Viking focuses down the Overlord. Overlord goes in, goes for the dive, and does confirm no tech lab here on the starport. Is aware no Banshees are on the way. Stim being researched. Liberator behind this. A much more standard transition here from ByuN. And we should be getting Spores in position for the Lib. There it is. Spore here in the main, on the edge. And we should be seeing a second Spore as well. Getting into our lair, getting into our bathing nest. Again, the lair is a little bit delayed here just because of the openers. Like, the game has been a little bit chaotic, so the builds are a little bit off, but we're getting there. Just lair first, safety bathing nest here from Dark. Going into delayed double Evo chamber, delayed upgrades. And here comes ByuN. Moving out with his Hellions and with the Liberator. Going for some multi-prog aggression. We have 7 queens to defend, and we'll see if Dark can keep up. We've got patrolling Lings here towards the natural. Liberator headed towards the main. Spores in position. The Hellions are pulling back. If we don't test our luck, Vikings zoning away some of these Overlords. Liberator does siege up. We do get 1 drone, but only 1. So good reaction here from Dark. He does barely save the Overlord. As I say that, ByuN coming back in. This time the Hellions rotating over towards the 3rd base. We get a second drone. Glib taking a lot of damage. ByuN trying to get a read on where the army is. As this Liberator is so annoying, getting 3, getting 4 drones. Not bad. 4 drones and a queen. Very worthwhile Liberator there. The Hellions didn't quite go for a dive. Again, ByuN, he was aware that there should be links somewhere and wasn't feeling too confident, just cleared up some creep. And behind this, getting to his bio play, taking his 3rd base at the triangular location. Okay. Honestly, a pretty secure base. Dark has mined through these minerals, so he has access to this area. Can attempt to harass, going for a very fast infestation pit. This looks like Ling Bane into Ultra. Very fast pit here from Dark, staying on a lower gas count. Getting up to 5 gases. Double expanding. The downside of Ling Bane Ultra is, of course, you do lack anti-air, so these drops can be very annoying. You have no Hydras, you have no Mutas, of course. There's that Hive on the way. And we should soon be seeing that Ultra Cavern once the Hive is done. Meanwhile, ByuN just fortifying himself back at home. I was dreading seeing like triple factory again, but it looks like it's only going to be 2 factories. Thank God. Look, I need a break from the mass tank. Yeah, I need a break, man. Viking does get an Overlord in the main. Good pick up. Shut down an Overlord. A drop comes in as well. Out of vision. Oh my God, ByuN does barely find a position here to unload. Dark has no idea. ByuN, he does scout the would-be Hive. We get into the mineral line. Drones are going down. Not just drones, we're going for the Overlords. Yeah, Dark caught with his pants down, out of position. Not ready for this at all. We get 3 Overlords, 2 drones, almost a queen. And we do get out. At the same time, Hellbats are pushing forward. We do collapse in with the Ling Bane. Dark, it does at least deal with the frontal push. Hive is now done. We can gain access to Adrenal. And there's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. But Dark has been taking some losses here. Like, Ling Bane into Ultra works really well if you have map control, and that's something that ByuN is doing a great job here at taking away from Dark. Clearing up a lot of creep. Dark is mass expanding though. He's working on his 6th. What's scary though is that ByuN, with this expansion pattern, we're expanding towards our opponents. We're actually almost on top of the natural base of Dark. Like, this base is a massive launch pad for ByuN. So Dark has to be careful here. As the Ultra Cavern's about to finish, we can then get into, of course, our Ultra upgrades. But it takes time to get into Kindness Plating, to get into Ultra Speed. I keep forgetting what Ultra Speed. I keep forgetting what Ultra Speed is called. It's like Metabolic Glands or something. Meanwhile, jump comes in, and we do catch a base. Not bad. Hatchery goes down for free. Meanwhile, that drop from earlier still up and running. Finally gets shut down, but a good position here. We do confirm the Ultra Cavern. We trade as efficiently as possible. Meanwhile, ByuN still being active, going for the top right. Dark is in position. We'll force this back. Planetary's up and running, and oh, ByuN, he can start pushing towards that natural that we spoke about earlier. Again, just bypassing a lot of these bases, going for the kill, going for the throats. Dark rotating back over. Widowmines are getting in position. How good are the mine shots going to be? Forcing a bit of friendly fire. Banelings, they do rock up. Good spread here from Dark, but he still takes a lot of mine shots to the face. Double drop still being active. Where are the Banelings? Uh-oh. Without Banelings, ByuN, he can win this fight. Force to pick up. More leads to arrive. And Dark is holding. Dark, he's holding. Oh my god. The drops, they're relentless. Pick off some more Lings. Rotating up here towards the center base. And again, we spoke about this. This is the weakness here of this army composition for Dark, is like there's no anti-air. There's no way to stop these metamax. Not yet. This should be leading into Vipers. Speaking of, there they are. And our anti-air is going to be power bombs. Parasitic bombs, that's how we deal with drops. But Dark, he's focusing on the main push. Again, barely any creep here. We snipe a Viper. We do get a power bomb off. Quick split there out of ByuN. He's gaining ground. Dark still a lot of supply here on the right-hand side. And he's going for a counterattack. Oh, the skin reveals the army, by the way. And ByuN's turning back around. Bailey's, they crash in, they bust down the front door. Dark trying to force ByuN all the way back home. SCVs are going down. So a good counterattack here by Dark, but oh, there are no Bailings left. He cannot engage with the main army. Does have to retreat. But again, Dark is at least buying breathing. He's getting breathing room here. He's forcing ByuN to back off. Dark able to re-drone, able to get back into his Link Bane. We do have kindness plating. No ultra speed yet. We're also stuck on 2-2. Where is 3-3, by the way? Upgrades are a little bit late here. Oof. Mine shot going up. Do we have Adrenal? We do. We do have Adrenal at least. Dark does have Adrenal. There it is. 3-3 has now begun. And then getting an SCV. There is going to be a window where ByuN has 3-3 over Dark. Dark now starting up ultra speed. Bailings! Oh my god, as the bar Bailings do connect. Decent connections here on ByuN. Is going to be cornered. Dark rolling up at the same time, but Doom drop into the main base. Oh, Dark heavily out of position here. We're pushing towards that hive at the same time, dropping on the right-hand side. Base is going down, and Dark going for a big counterattack, but the mine shots are insane. Big connections. And ByuN, he wants the hive, and he's gonna get it. Oh, it's close. Up the hive. It lives. Transfuse keeps it alive. Meanwhile, Ling's wreaking havoc here at the natural. ByuN will defend. The E-Base, they make it out. 11 SCVs went down, but we killed 9 drones. Very chaotic game here. Dark pushing towards that center base, going for the hybrid. Going for the planetary, and he should bring it down. Oh, I say that, does pull back. There we go. Pulling back because of the drop. The hive falls. Trade the hive for the planetary. Dark knocked down to 59 workers. We're running out of gas. We just made 5 ultras. And Dark burning through his gas bank. Drop still active here in the main base. Again, the hive went down, has to be rebuilt. We can no longer make any Vipers. 14 drones going down to the Liberator harass. 7 kills only on the 1 lib. And the Marauders, they come back in. They just killed the hive and they're going for the Ultra Cavern. Dark, he's being pulled apart. Finally, we have the power bomb. But the Medivac survives. Medivacs do survive. Ghost Academy's on the way. What's impressive here is that ByuN's been pulling this off without any ghosts. So these ultras, they are quite intimidating here for ByuN. At least until the ultras come out. Sorry, until the ghosts come out. Drop towards the natural. Lair is on the way. Drop shut down. Yes, again, this drop play is just getting out of hand. At least 3-3's already done. Eva Chambers are getting sniped, and Dark, he's just sending everything right through the center of the map. It's all or nothing for Dark. Bailey's being shut down. Oh, the Bard Bailings! Oh, will not be connecting. Cheeky move there out of Dark. It's not going to pay off. As he rolls towards that natural. Getting on top of the Ghost Academy with the Liberators. What is the answer to the Libs? Freedom is here. Freedom has arrived. Kiting back, taking out the ultras. We still have control of the main base. The Queens are falling. And ByuN's getting out of control. Getting out of hand here. Spire is now being thrown down, but it's too little too late for that. We finally forced the pick up. Ooh, 37 SCVs go down. We do take down the center base. The center planetary does fall. ByuN is still mining towards the left-hand side. Dark, not the best saturation here. But Dark does take a worker lead. ByuN down to 32 SCVs. We still have some borrowed links. Speaking of, we catch more banelings. They are called out. And ByuN, he actually doesn't really have much mining going on here. He's supply blocked as well, making 5 depots at a time. Dark, he can recover, but oh, he lost everything. He can't even make any lings. Spawning pool's being rebuilt, the spire's being rebuilt. We sniped the Ultra Cavern earlier. We sniped the hives, so no more vipers. Dark, he's got a lot of rebuilding to do, and that spire, it's going to be targeted down. We do squeeze out 8 corruptors at least. But can we get there in time? We cannot. GG gets called. ByuN pushes on the right-hand side. Not enough to stop him, and ByuN will take the series 3-1. GG, well played. ByuN is this week's KSL champion. GG, well played. A wild back and forth here, a wild series. We even had a draw in game 1. It was a crazy series, a crazy back and forth. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN. Dark was able to hold his own. I'm brought back to, remember Crimson Court? Like, Crimson Court was so close. If you remember, that was when ByuN barely was able to break out and barely able to fight back against Dark when he didn't have enough banelings. Even after that as well, even on games on the map like like Oceanborn, where ByuN was down to 17 SCVs. But he fought his heart out. He fought his heart out again. His micros control like no other, able to make the most out of so little there. And even here, ByuN being more in control and spreading his wings. We saw again, like, this is the downside of Lingbane Ultra and why we don't see it too often, or I should say, why we mainly see Lingbane Ultra on larger maps where we can gain map control, is because drop play can just pull you apart. As we saw, like, ByuN, he has drop play like no other, and it just took far too long to get into any anti-air. The Vipers helped a little bit. We got towards Corruptors at the very end of the game, but it was too late by that point. Like, the drop play snowballed out of control there. And it's just a really good way to abuse this style from Dark. Just a really good way to pull him apart and shut him down. Very well done. Very well played by ByuN. My condolences to Dark, but he still had an amazing performance. What makes for a good series is 2 players, right? Like, if Dark was any lesser of a player, then it wouldn't have been as chaotic and wild as it was. Sure, it was a 3-1 in ByuN's direction, but if you maybe only tune into the last game, it doesn't do it justice. Like, every game was insane, and every game was so close as well. A very close series. GG, well played. And I did hear a couple of things coming into this. When Chicken Man shared the replays, he was talking about how this may be the best finals in KSL history. I would agree. I mean, we've been there for every KSL, and I would agree that this was a crazy finals. And I spoke about it. We very rarely get ZVT finals in KSL. Again, usually Hero is our champion, and we get a very different kind of series when Hero's involved. But this week, Hero didn't show. This week, Hero was not a part of the tournament, so it allowed for a very different kind of finals. And yeah, Dark versus ByuN, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful series. GG, well played. Oh my god. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the other casters are going to be jumping on this as well. I think Winter's already done it. I think Loco's getting on it. I think Pig as well. They're all going to be making YouTube videos of this series, because I mean, it's worth it. I mean, that was a ZVT, Poppy. One of the best that we've seen in a long time. So congratulations to ByuN, our new KSL champion. And if you want to support the KSL, if you want to support the Korean StarCraft League, if you want these replays yourself, !KSL in the chat. !KSL, you will get a link to the Patreon. To the Patreon page of KSL, where you can help support and fund this tournament. Likewise, you also gain access to replay packs. You gain access to, I think you can be a guest caster on Dave Tessa or Chicken Man's channel. So I think you can cast, you can get replays. and you can gain some other benefits as well on the Discord server. So yeah, do consider supporting KSL. Likewise, not just KSL, but there's also other events out there like GSL. The GSL has their Patreon. We have our own Patreon for Sparkling Tuna Cup. A lot of different ways to crowdfund and to support some of these tournaments if you wish. Otherwise, a follow is all we ask. If you enjoyed the broadcast, if you want some more action, we do cast here on a daily basis on the CranKy Ducklings. Yesterday we were casting Kung Fu Cup, today the KSL, and tomorrow we're going to be live with OSC King of the Hill. OSC King of the Hill in 23 hours. In 23 hours time, we're going to be live on this channel with some OSC action. If maybe you haven't heard of it before, OSC King of the Hill is a King of the Hill style tournament. Basically, 15 best of ones. 15 best of ones, every best of one brings a new challenger, and the winner stays on, the loser is eliminated. And you earn money based on how many kills, how many wins you rack up. So we have seen, it's very rare, we've seen some big win streaks happen before. We've seen like certain players pop off and go for these insane win streaks, or you've had other weeks where we just trade back and forth and no one ever gets more than like 2 or 3 wins before they get knocked down. A lot of competitive play in the OSC King of the Hill. So if you're interested, tomorrow in 23 hours time, basically tomorrow at this time, we're going to be casting it. We're going to be live. So consider checking it out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Jesus, that was a 5-hour broadcast. I was not expecting the broadcast to go on for that long. Not expecting the broadcast to be this long, but regardless, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. We'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, the KSL will be returning in 2 weeks. Going to be returning in 2 weeks' time. This is a bi-weekly tournament. It used to be a weekly, but we've had but the funding did actually reduce. There's a little bit less support on the Patreon, so now it's a bi-weekly instead of a weekly. Of course, regardless of where the support is for the KSL, it's gonna run. Regardless, even if it has to turn into a monthly, it's gonna be here. So again, consider supporting if you wish. Otherwise, thank you so much, papi. Thank you for the support. See you guys tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. Hope you guys have a great evening, a great night, a great day, depending on where you are. We'll see you next time. Ciao, papi. Ciao. See you next time.